I've heard rumors, Mr. Redpath, that you were paid by Team Kennedy to do either ballot petition collecting or testifying for ballot access, and paid by Team Kennedy for that. Is that true?
Yes, that is true.
Now,
but we formed a JFC with Robert F. Kennedy Jr., so it is arguable that is a conflict to start with. But it has long been a practice of, let me finish. It has long been a practice of Libertarian Party members to help other candidates get on the ballot. I defended RFK Jr.'s signatures in Illinois. I wanted him to be on the ballot there. The Libertarian Party presidential ticket was not going to be on the ballot there because we didn't get enough signatures and we were challenged off the ballot. So don't bring this to me after we formed a JFC because it is arguable that's a conflict of interest to begin with.
I certainly wouldn't have intended to, but for the comments earlier, hang on, I've got a very important point to raise here. When I asked earlier about the...
We're not going to get through all your questions.
Hang on, I've got a really key one, and I will not be muted here. I have a concern about what Mr. Redpath just has said, and I demand to have this question heard. Mr. Nekhaila, please stop interrupting me and let me ask a critical question.
That's not the purpose of it.
Yes, it is. I just asked Mr. Hall a few minutes ago that is the swing vote strategist a conflict? And I raised the concerns that it was not involving the LNC and that it was not to the disadvantage of the party. And Mr. Hall specifically responded that it was in violation of the first provision that each LNC member shall disclose to the LNC the situations in which such person's own economic interests or duties to others might conflict with the interests of the party. If swing vote strategist was a conflict and the entirety of the concerns about the SIC being independent were because there was no material interest, I don't think I ever saw a disclosure of a conflict of interest from you, Mr. Hall, Mr. Redpath, that you had worked for the Team Kennedy. How is that different, Mr. Hall? Would you please answer?
Is that a conflict?
Sounds like a material interest in the facts of the SIC, and I think Mr. Redpath was a member of that.
What is the problem if Mr. Redpath was paid to collect signatures by the Joint Kennedy Committee?
Is that correct, Mr. Redpath? And to testify?
I was. And you know what? I probably should have disclosed that, but I was sent to New Mexico with the agreement was ahead of time on that. But it is a standard practice to help other parties get on the ballot that has been going back for decades here. But I never took any money from the LNC that was not approved ahead of time. And that is a material difference to this situation.
It sounds exactly like the case with swing vote strategists, though, which you approved in the SIC report as an additional conflict on the grounds that I just laid out and as affirmed by Mr. Hall earlier in this call. Does it not? Would you correct me if I'm wrong on that, Mr. Hall?
I'm having trouble following this conversation, but look, if Mr. Redpath was collecting signatures and getting paid by Team Kennedy, I think he's just said he probably should have disclosed that.
I probably should have disclosed it, yes.